Welcome back, survivors. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Carnivores Triplex. So last episode, we actually went after the spinophorosaurus, managed to get, I think, a couple of them down. They definitely seem to be bullet sponges, but the mod actually does have mortal zones to it, which is something I did not realize this was actually a mortal zone mod. I don't know if every animal does have, but things like the carnivores seem to have specific mortal zones. Like, I think it's the Sinosaurus is the chest, the Alioramus, or the Labrosaurus I think is the spine. The Alioramus might be the chest. The Sinosaurus, I'm not actually sure where it is, but yeah, there are some mortal zones to the mod. I do kind of wish there would be some information in the menu that just kind of lets you know areas to try aiming for. But considering it is still a mod in beta, I can understand why they might not be in the game at the moment. What we're going to go after today, though, will probably be the Sinosaurus. See if we can try to get another few of... Or should we go for more... You know what? I kind of want to keep going along this, because we are actually slowly getting the points to be able to go after further and further animals and get the full roster done. Like, I think once we can actually hunt the Labrosaurus, we might end the series with that dino, because then this trophy room's full. We've seen the one map. I don't think we've tried the Spas 12, so we'll see maybe if we can get that in an episode 2. But we'll start with the Sinosaurus hunt this episode, see how we do, if we can get a few, and with that, we've got double ammo, everything's looking good, let's hop in and get to a new hunt. Okay, we're all loaded in now. And just want to be careful because we do have the Sinosauruses active, or selected. Nope, hang on. I always forget to make sure about the UI just turned on for you guys. It just happens because of how I have to do the recordings and capture stuff, but there we go. Yeah, so if I'm going to go after these guys, I think I want to stick with, again, just going for the southern area first. That gives us great amount of visibility. We can try to put the shots in quickly from a distance. And just see about snagging maybe 2 or 3. Enough that we can kind of pick and choose which ones we want to keep in the trophy room or not. That's some interesting sounds right there. Well, let's just see if we can spot a couple of them on this area. Once we can get the first 2, we'll hop out of the menu, use the points to maybe get a new weapon if we can, and then go back in for a tranquilizer hunt, just so that way we can make sure we can keep grinding the points up we need. It's actually not going to be a lot of points we need before we can go from the Sinosaurus to the Alioramus. And we have already managed to get one by really just sheer luck. I thought it was the mod was in its beta stages, so all the dinos might have had more similar health pools. No, I just got super lucky. The second shot on the Alioramus actually hit the mortal zone to take it down instantly. Okay, let's just try to get up high and take some looks around to see what's going on. Okay, nothing really active at the moment. Let's try calling one in. No replies, but I do have to admit, very good sound design on the calls. They feel unique, well, even the ambient sounds are pretty unique. Unique, fits the animal it's from, very well done. Like, that's still probably the weirdest and kind of silliest call in the series, is still the Carnivores 2 just base Spinosaurus calls. It basically sounds like you just tried to give a cat a bath and recorded it. And, oh! There's a little Vectosaurus we could try getting a couple of shots into, just as something. Yeah, I think I will, just to warm us up a bit. There we are. Now, I don't know if that was actually both shots hit, or I just missed the first one and the second one was a mortal zone. Yeah, I can't really tell. Doesn't really look like there's any blood on the ground. Although, it does look like I'm getting a lot of places where the screen... I think it's just how 3DFX Glide wants to be working. But off you go. Okay, not the one we're actually after, but... Okay, you know what? I'll wait till the trophy ship is well and gone before I try calling again, because... there was so much noise in that instance, I have no idea what actually happened. Oh, shoot. That's a Stegosaurus. Not what we're after, but, I mean, if we can get the shot to take it down, it still does offer some points for us. There we are. Yeah, so unselected, it's only worth 6. But when you do have it selected, it's like worth 15. And so far, still no replies. I think I've been actually getting luckier with the Vectosauruses than I've... yeah, than the Sinosaurus so far. Let's just see if we can... Nope, that's a... Alioramus. Oh! Yeah, so those ones I want to have a second weapon for, because they are quick. We'll try a new hunt, though. Okay, we're loaded in again. Yeah, the Alioramus, as much as he might know where the mortal zone is, that doesn't make it any easier to hit. So I think if I can get more points, I can bring a shotgun. We'll be much better off with them coming in with their quicker speed. I couldn't really hear anything because of a certain ambient guy flying over. Now let's try. Still can't hear anything. Oh! Didn't even make a reply, but was close enough to be able to get a free meal. Okay, we'll try again. Okay, hopefully this will be third time's a charm and we'll be able to get something proper without dying in the process. Well, let me see where we are exactly. Oh, we're actually way off in the east right now. See, I don't think I heard any replies back, but I still have to admit, the footstep audio is definitely messed up, and it kind of hurts the game a little bit because it's so repetitive and also kind of loud for how it's like played twice at once. That can drown out a lot of other sounds. And then also, the ambient animal calls are a bit annoying too. Not the little guys, it's just the flyer. It's just the little Rodan imposter. So far, though, nothing else. Yeah, it's just those calls. If you're too close to them when they go out, they just completely... Oh. Oh. That's right, because this only has a 4-round clip. I think I gotta change tactics. Okay, so I'm not going to go for them this episode. I'm going to instead look at farming some points, because the Stegosaurus we know give, I think, some of the most. And then maybe we'll try the Spas 12 and the Allure Titan. I'm trying to think here. See, we could use the lever action and the Sarc. Maybe we'll try that. Just go for all that. See, I kind of want the radar on. Yeah, maybe we'll try this instead. Just go for the rest of these episodes, trying to grind some points up, so that if I go after these carnivores more, I at least have the over-under as a backup, like, close-hand weapon. So we'll try this out, see how we do, and we can just rack some points up for this episode. Okay, we're loaded in again, and nothing actually immediately around us, so I'm going to head to the south, as it does look like we got a little bit over there. Just gotta go across the water. And then see. Even if we just stick to the southern area of the map, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible ones we can get. I don't know exactly what they are. I probably should have turned off the Vectosaurus, because they're kind of like a bit of a diminishing return to keep active. They just occupy some spawns that would be better off with better scoring animals. We'll get to the south, see what we can get. I do have the over-under, so that'll be good for, like, if these Sarcosauruses do get in close to us. I just gotta slowly get our way across here. Okay, almost landed. And we should be in visibility range of one of them. We'll see what it is. The biggest... Nope. Okay, well, one's a Vectosaurus, so I don't think we'll go for that one. We'll probably want to focus more on the one to the southwest. Yeah, just Dryosaurus and Vectosaurus. Okay, whatever is up here... It's hard to say what it might be. Oh. Well, that's what we want. I think that's the... Yeah, so that was a Stegosaurus, so that's the one we want. And there's another one... Or another animal. Oh, okay, so we got an Allure Titan and... We'll start with the Stegosaurus, because this one, if we can get... Then we can work east to get the Allure Titan. And thankfully the Stegosaurus, if we can get that first hit, that first shot connects. That's all we need. Oh, right over there. There we are. Yeah, I don't know if that would have scared the Allure Titan or not, so let me try a call. Okay, good, it didn't. So yeah, so it's coming in directly for us. Give it a little while, and then we'll start shooting. I think if I can get about maybe 250 meters, we'll be good to try. I think it actually is trying to go... Yeah, we'll start now. Oh, 2 shots. Perfect. Okay, we know one to the east is a Vectosaurus, so we're just going to run our way to the west and see what's on the other side. Hopefully it's another Stegosaurus or an Allure Titan or even a Sarcosaurus, but just try to get a few things to help boost the points a little bit. So the next time we try for the Sinosauruses, we have a little bit of a fallback weapon. Yeah, just gotta do a bit of jog. I don't know why I'm not sure if it's like because I've done a driver update where it seems like there's a little more screen tears or little cracks in the terrain for 3DFX as a setting. It's one of the reasons why I try to play the Direct 3D software if I can, more so than 3DFX Glide, because it just seems like 3DFX, visually-wise, is not quite as stable. Which is ironic. Direct 3D is not, software-wise stable and crashes more often. But 3DFX seems more unstable visually-wise, but runs with far fewer issues. So it's kind of, you gotta pick which one you want. It can look good, but it's probably going to crash on you a few times, or it can have a few issues for looks, but it runs okay. Actually, maybe I should be a little careful as I'm running too, because now that I think about it, the radar only lets you see what you've picked from the roster. There's still the chance that other animals have spawned in that could pick me up as I'm running. Like there's, as we saw, the Alioramus earlier. Could be on the map. Oh, another Vectosaurus? I mean, I guess I'll see if I can... Actually, maybe it's a good thing I took that shot, so that way I now have the full clip ready again. Well, looks like... Okay, I think the Vectosaurus is the one running more to the south, so we want the one more north, or west-northwest. I'm not sure what animal that is. But yeah, the Vectosaurus, I gotta remember to turn off if I'm going to go for point farming, just because they are not worth it at all. You only get 2 per one. They're easily outclassed by literally every other animal in the roster. But I mean, that is kind of the point of the beginner animal. It's just that 2 seems like a really, really small amount, even just to start with. Okay, it's a Stegosaurus, which is good. We'll just keep on it. Just some of the ambient calls still get to me a bit. See if it can calm down, we can bring it out of that corner. Because we'll get the Stegosaurus, head back the menu, see the points, and end us off. But they're just both squeezed down into this tight little corner here. Oh, actually, they're going up. There we go. There we go. Actually got 2 for the price of 1. Okay, we'll head back to the menu because I'm hoping that'll be enough to have the over-under for next episode. Okay, we're back to the menu. Yeah, so let me see. If I take those off, I just do Sinosaurus. There we go. We've got ourselves a bit better outfitted to try taking on the carnivore next episode. And then the Alioramus, it's actually only 30 points more, so it's not going to be too hard to get those 2 opened up. The hardest one is probably going to be the Labrasaurus with the equipment for it, because from what I've heard, this guy is quite the tank unless you get the Mortal Zone. And, I mean, it is the apex predator, that's right. The Deinocheirus is... I think the Deinocheirus is going to be like the final animal, and then Utopijara is going to be like in there too. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but it does seem like from this description, those are the other animals. But we're going to end this episode of Carnivores Triplex right here. Thank you guys for joining me on another episode of the series. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, there's some comments right down below. And until I see you in the next video, survivors, please remember, as always, to take care and stay alive.